Well, good morning. I'm feeling better today because the prednisone is working. Anyways, I found this at a garage sale. It's Mighty Python and the Holy Grail. And I had an English teacher, his name was Mr. G, that he introduced me to Mighty Python. And it was an English class. And I remember the first time I watched it. It was kind of odd. And then, it kind of got me to watching other things. I watched The Life of Brian and The Meaning of Life, and I watched the other skits to it, and it was just interesting. Different take on humor. I thought it was actually kind of funny. The Meaning of Life, some of the parts in there was just kind of like, ugh, like the fat man throwing up and shit like that. That was kind of gross. But it's like a truth. It's kind of weird humor. That's just Izzy being a little holy terror like she is. Anyways. However, I was watching It's America's Got Talent. AGT or TAG or whatever it is. And basically, what it does is it builds people up on center stage and they act like they love them and, they're clapping and they're, praising their name and they're inflating their ego. And, it makes others feel so good to be center stage and get that attention. However, they're just building them up so they can suck them dry, That's just the truth of the entertainment business. They're just using them for a short time. What they are is basically one-hit wonders. And, they build them up so they can have, contenders for their show so they can get ratings. And, once they're done with them, they'll throw them out. Now, some of them might make it, like I saw a few that'll probably make it to the Disney Channel. We all know what the Disney Corporation does to others. What it does to child stars in the long run. They ain't right. They ain't right after Disney gets a hold of them and, basically rapes them. Because that's just the truth of it. It signs contracts, lock them into contracts, and then, their work schedule is not anything good. Their life ain't anything good. They're just slaves for profit. That's it. Anyways, that's what the Spirit was showing me. And it was trying to, make me smile or whatever. And I'm happy. I enjoy watching others succeed and be have fun. I do enjoy that. However, I know the aftermath of what is going to happen to them once they're being lifted up on stage and stuff like that. They're just being used, and they're having these people all around them that act like they're for them when they're not. And that's just the truth. They'll sit there and, it's just for a moment. It's a fleeting moment. But who's going to be there when all that limelight goes away? And, those on stages and that get, their audience and stuff like that, they should realize that those do not truly love them. They're just being hyped in the moment. And that's what I say to all spirits out there. I was like, yes, I do enjoy watching others be happy, being energetic, being, what would be the thing of just being at their, what their best, showing who they are a part of themselves, being a light. However, this world takes lights and they suck them dry and they eat them up. And I've seen the aftermath. I've seen those. I was in Arkansas and there was a dude that was on American Idol. He was. It's American Got Talent, but it was American Idol. And he was on there, and he was one of the contestants, and he got plenty of praise, and he was one of the the top ones. And then after the show, he was back in Arkansas working a dead end job, and that was his forever ticket of his claim to fame. And that's basically what he had for the rest of his life to go on, was just he was on American Idol. I'm like, he was lifted up in the spotlight, that one time. And I'm like, whatever. If that's what people, just like those dudes that sit there and have that high school football story, they don't have anything really else in life to go on but that one fucking moment in their life. And I'm like, I don't want to live life like that just by going off of one moment. Now, I know I've had my life experience. I've gained my skills. I've traveled, and I want to continue that. I want to continue in my freedom. But one moment, one moment, it's like basically 15 minutes of fame, and that's all there is. And then after that, it just sizzles out. It's like you're a light, and then you sizzle out. That's not really being a light in this world. That's just being a flame. A light is someone that is always shining bright and being, for others. They're always a light. They're always going to shine. Not just in one moment, but they're always going to shine. I think I always shine no matter what, and do my best. Now, sometimes I'm a little bit duller than usual, and why have that one instant where you're put on stage, and why not just be a light all the time where you're always shining? No matter what, you're always in your moment. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be one, flame out. It can just be a consistent light as you go about in this world. You're always set apart. I was set apart. It's just who I am. And it's not for attention or glory or whatever. I'm just a light because of who I am. I'm different from all others. We all have that independence to us. We all have something deep down that makes us, special. Mine is I carry the heart of Christ. I'm truthful. I'm beautiful outside, inside, forever growing. I have a lot of great attributes, and I love myself. That is a big accomplishment in this place that I am. It's not hell, it's not heaven. It's kind of like a purgatory. But that's a big accomplishment, to love myself. And to admit faults too. Like I to grow in patience and forgiveness and admit fault. Like I admit my mistakes. I don't point fingers at others and sit there and, try to criticize them or bring them down. I look at myself now first. I was just thinking about that because I've been trying to cut back on my sugars and, do my body more healthy. That wasn't always the case, but, it is now, as I'm focused on it. And, I was reading up on cane sugar because I switched to cane sugar. And it says it's not really any better for you. And I just thought, I try so hard, with the fruits, the vegetables, the cereals, the grains, and, trying to avoid corn syrup. I like sugar in my coffee. I like sweet coffee. And I got to switch to a different creamer because the creamer I like has corn fucking syrup in it. Yeah, that's right. So I've been trying to, read up on different products that I can get. Yep. To make me feel better. And I was thinking, geez, how fucking hard is just keeping my body and how incompetent I've been on it. And even now when I try so fucking hard. And I'm like, I've still fell out. I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I know that all those that pursue glory and greatness are always neglecting themselves because they're trying to get others to look at them, hear them, know them, whatever. So they're not paying attention to themselves. It's always important to love thyself first and then be a light unto others to love themselves, not do a dance so that way, you know, you can hype up others, and then, you know, once you lose the spotlight, that goes back down to darkness. You know, I want to be a light that lights up the whole world, not just in moments, but they can carry, that sparks a light inside them, and they carry it, you know, a truth. Like the other day, you know, I went to the doctor's office, and it was her birthday, and, you know, the lady who was taking my blood, and, you know, she was sitting there, you know, she didn't even realize it was her birthday, and, you know, she was feeling bad because she was a bit older, and I was like, you know, well, happy survival day. I was like, be thankful you survived another year. And she's like, I didn't think about it like that. And I was like, yeah, you're a contender. You know, it's hard to be in this world. You shouldn't think of it as, you know, getting old and, you know, losing youth. You should think of it as you are a contender. The eye of the tiger. You know, after a certain point, every year that you survive, you make it another fucking year. That's like going up a fucking, you know, climbing that fucking mountain, and to climb a mountain ain't easy. And I told her, I was like, I work every day to grow in mind, heart, body, spirit, and to grow in soul. When you're balanced, you grow in soul. When you're balanced in mind, heart, body, and spirit, you start growing in soul. You know, you start developing as you should. You know, if you're not right in mind, then you're not going to have soul growth. You know, if you're not right in spirit, you're not going to have soul growth, because you're all over the place. You know, it's still swirling. You have to come together, and it's all in your physical body. And you know, a lot of people were like, well, how do you know this? It's like, I know because I am who I am. You know, I didn't before, but it's just starting to come together on who I am. Because I'm in tune with myself, and the light and love and patience and kindness, and, you know, all that jazz hands, and that's how I know. And it's always good to answer questions, but not let anybody question you. Like when others start questioning me or trying to put me down or whatever, that's when I sit there and, you know, smack them back. You gotta smack the devils and demons back, because they'll come at you and try to put you down and hinder your growth. And you're like, you know what I know, and I know who I am. And that's all. I don't gotta sit there and prove myself to anyone or compete or anything like that. And to all out there, you don't gotta compete for shit. You know, your glory doesn't come from being center stage or, you know, playing for the team or anything like that. That's not glory. You know, I believe glory is when I come out of this, you know, this world, and I have won the victory. I win victories all the time, but when I've won that final victory and I leave this fucking world behind, and all in it, you know, all the darkness in it, all the devils in it, all the demons in it, I leave them behind, and I'm like, see y'all, because I rose above all the bullshit. And it's hard to rise above all the bullshit, because you do want to fit in. I know, believe me, I wanted to fit in for years until I didn't. Until I was like, I don't know if I can be a part of that. That's nothing to be a part of. I don't want to be friends with that. They're nothing to be friends with. Love is different, but just because you love someone doesn't mean you're going to be friends with them or even like them. You're just going to love them. You might not like their like their habits or their personality, or, you know, you might not even like spending time with them, but you love them. And, you know, when that happens and you're kind of conflicted, because it's hard to understand the difference between, you know, liking and loving others, you know, and then you try to be nice because the world tells you to be nice, but they make you fucking miserable. So there's a difference between nice and kindness. Kindness is, of course, doing unto others as you would, you know, want done unto you. And that's how I try to live every day. But, you know, I do try to put nice away, because there's those that, you know, when you're nice to them, it just kind of builds ego or pride, or it's kind of like a white lie. So, you know, kindness compassion, patience, all that. But at the same time, you don't have to be a fucking liar. Like, if you don't like someone, you can straight up and say, I don't like you. I love you, but I don't like you, so you need to get the fuck away from me because you bring me down. It's okay to tell someone to go away because they bring you down, and you can tell them why they bring you down. Like, say, oh, your complaining brings me down, or I just don't, you suck my happiness away. I think you're a fucking vampire. Yeah. Believe me, right now, I'm having to stay in my mom's house because it gets hot and stuff, and I sleep in there. And I'm not getting very much sleep because of her old man. He's been burning shit like with cigarettes and stuff like that because he's been dropping them. He's at the last stages. He's actually having problems walking and stuff like that now. And it just stinks. He always wakes up in the middle of the fucking night. Earlier I woke up, it's probably about 3 o'clock. I woke up and I smelled like plastic burning. I had to wake her up and tell her that he was in the bathroom, because he'll sit there and go in the bathroom, fall asleep with a cigarette, and it'll drop on the floor or something, and he'll start burning stuff, and it's just got a bad plastic smell. And I'm like, and I know she's unhappy right now because she's having to deal with his shit, and she's tired of it. She's finally come to a point in her life that she's finally fucking tired of him and ready to let him go, like, completely. And which is good. It's good. She's ready to let go of every fucking thing and have a total life change, which is great. Because a lot of people, they might lose someone in their life, but they don't. It's not a life change. They're not ready to, move forward. They just kind of sit and dwell and stew and and carry on as they are. My mom is ready for her change, which is good because I'm ready to move past this. I don't want to come back here. I'm ready. Just like with the cabin, it can go with the property. I let go of it. It was an experience. I got to show my skill a little bit. I'm ready for the bus builds. I really am. And to start that chapter in my life. I'm just ready, and it's just a process now of him passing away and her putting him in the ground, and then getting the place cleaned up and all the shit off of it, which because there's junk cars and there's stuff that she needs to let go in the house, and she's ready for it, which is great. That's nice. You can, in the bus she'll be able to carry some stuff with her, but not a lot. There's small buses. And just like me, I plan on taking some stuff, however, not a lot. There's reasons why I want to take certain things, but other than that, I'm letting a lot go. But I've just accumulated much. I don't have much attachment anymore. When I went through my sickness and I lost all my true treasures, my true treasures that I had carried for 20 years or something like that, and I lost all that. I mourned that. Like, I seriously mourned that because I lost all my treasures. And it took me a while to get over it, and I tried to hold on to that. Like, I put my stuff in storage and I was sick, and believe me, it was only like $30 something a month, but that was so hard when you're homeless and you're sick and you're trying to hold on. $30 a month is a lot. You might be able to get some resources. However, I didn't have no fucking help. Those that they always wanted something from me. I didn't receive help. I received those that, came to give aid for a price. That's what I received. And that is pretty much why I have the attitude I have towards all. And I'm not going to sit there and look at this world through rose-colored glasses anymore, because I've been at my lowest point and I've seen the truth of it. Do I have animosity? No, I don't have any animosity. I wish others well, but I know that that's not what they're going to receive. And that's just the truth of it. I see what's going to befall others. I see it. It's just I don't pity them. I'm like, You know, you reap what you fucking sow. And it's not bitterness either, because I'm like, you reap what you fucking sow. You know, I'm not going to pray about it. I'm not going to pray anymore. When I first started seeing future, I used to cry out to, you know, the God of man to save them and whatever. And then I started seeing the truth, like I was shown the truth of stuff, and I was like, I don't want to save this shit. And as I was treated, like I went to the churches with, you know, having nothing and, you know, wanting help. And, you know, they'll give you their scraps and leftover foods, you know, almost expired shit. Most of it expired shit. Maybe their hand-me-downs. But they don't want to fucking truly help you. You know, they might, you know, talk to you or hand you a piece of paper with some fucking scripture on it, but there's no heart in it. There's not. To them, you're a fucking job. And I got that all over the place. You know, they might ask if I needed something, but it was they were a job. And they treated me like I was nothing. That's why I put Jesus away. I put the God of man away. I put the goddesses away. I put them all fucking away. And, you know, I say to those out there that have gone through, you know, homelessness and loss and sickness, and you don't have to dwell in the darkness. You know, you don't have to keep on trying to destroy yourself with alcohol or drugs, because it's not you. You know, the world around you sucks ass. You know, you can't, yeah, you could be depressed about it and wallow in it, but what fucking good is that going to do? You might as well just get up and love yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And that's what I finally realized after bad relationships, dealing with shitty people, is I just got up and started loving myself, because nobody else was going to do it. And once I started loving myself and standing up for myself and being protective of myself and sheltering myself and feeding myself goodness in mind, body, heart, and spirit and soul, I started getting stronger. And yeah, I still have shit in this world that I have to go through, but at least I'm loving myself as I go through it, and I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I ain't down on myself anymore. I ain't trying to destroy myself so that way I can be for others. And that's all that I sit there and say to the spirits, the demons, and devils. That's all that is America's Got Talent or American Idol or all those shows. Is all they do is people destroy themselves so they can look good for others, so they can sound good for others. You know, that's it. They dress for others, not for themselves. They don't love themselves as they parade themselves on stage. They're just trying to get, you know, glory. They just want that glory. They want that love, but it's not going to come that way. It's not going to come that way. You want love, then love yourself first. Because it doesn't matter if you're surrounded by millions. That doesn't mean you're going to be loved. You're just going to be hyped up for a little bit, and your fall is going to be so much harder when you come down. It's true, because it'll be like any drug. You know, it can get you so high, but eventually that shit's going to wear off, and you're going to come crashing back down, and nothing else is going to get you that high again, and then you're going to go about and be miserable because you want that feeling, and you'll always be chasing after it, and it will always be fleeing from you. So when you love yourself, it doesn't flee from you. You get up, you love yourself every day. Yeah, the world might come against you, but the more you love yourself, the stronger it just grows. It never goes away. You know, once I started loving myself, it just grew. Once I gained self-discipline, it just grew. You know, it's hard at first, but once you get it, you got it. It doesn't go away. Anyways, y'all have an excellent day out there. And, you know, just do your best with what you got. Every day you got to get up. Every day it's a struggle. Every day it's a struggle. So if you relapse with eating too much sugar, drinking too much alcohol, or, you know, doing whatever the fuck, you know, you might be looking at porn or whatever like that. If you relapse in it, just shut it off and walk in self-discipline. Go, you know, if you have a problem with something, then you put a positive in your path. You know, if you have a problem with looking at porn, go for a walk in a park. Go do something positive. You know, go paint. You know, do something with your eyes and your hands besides jacking off. If you have a problem with alcohol, go somewhere else. Go to a coffee shop. You know, go talk, you know, or go listen. Go do something. Never chase after your habit if you're trying to break one. You go into an opposite direction of where they're trying to pull you. That's how you break the habit. Self-love means that I'm not going to drink that because it's bad for me, and I love my mind, my body, my heart, my spirit. I want to grow in soul. You know, I'm not going to look at that or watch that. Look, violence, even if you're watching violence, you're going to be angry. So put away that violent music. Put away those violent images. You want to grow in love, then you put away what is wrathful to watch and hear and to know. Just put it away. You want to calm down and have a better nature about you, then listen to some good music. Try the Carpenters. They're pretty mellow. Just like me, they long to be